What's up, guys? Welcome to the stream. It is Friday at noon. Thank God it's Friday. That's how I feel. I'm wondering how you guys feel, but I'm definitely excited to be here. I probably need to grab an overlay here because let's see. Mute this so I'm not hearing myself talk. I'm just gonna snag an overlay, make sure this looks good. And then, let's see here. There we go. And we're live. All right, guys. So happy Friday. Welcome to the show. Sorry about the kind of quick delay there. I had clicked a setting on my camera that made it look all funny and weird, and I didn't know that I had clicked it, and so I had to troubleshoot it. And you know what? I troubleshooted it. I troubleshot it. I was able to do it myself, and that was a good thing. So I'm going to talk to you guys here today about something kind of... Wait. Says Christopher Michael Woodburn, Ben, you have something on your hat. What's on my hat? Let me know. So we're here. I didn't share this out to anything or anyone, really. I should, though. I probably should. So why don't I just really quickly, while I'm talking to you guys, share this all out like a professional would do. Because what we're going to be talking about today, we're going to be talking about album updates. We're going to be talking about upcoming guests on the channel. We're going to be talking about Patreon stuff. We're going to be talking about general life stuff because truly, guys, this has been a weird week. It's been a depressing week. It's been a week. So I want to kind of take today's stream as a chance to talk to you guys a little bit about some stuff I'm excited about moving forward. And yeah, I have some ideas and things that I want to chat with you guys about. So I'm going to tweet out this link really quickly. Live now on Nerds in Suits. Chatting album updates. Upcoming guests. And more. Come join in. That one, snag the image and get that one put out there, and then we should be good to go. And then we should be good. All right, cool. We're tweeting it out, doing the thing. I'm going to quickly go to the Nerds in Suits one. Not very many followers on the Nerds in Suits Twitter, I got to be honest with you guys, because I don't really tweet from it right now. It's kind of a newer thing. I've just started using it, but I definitely plan on it. I definitely plan on trying to do more and making it more interactive and actually commenting on things. So that's a thing. But yeah, so that's what's going on. So guys, welcome to the show today. We are going to be talking to you, as I mentioned, about a bunch of cool stuff. We're going to be talking about album updates because I've been writing a ton. That's probably the most exciting thing, actually, for me to talk to you guys about in a very depressing week and kind of not exactly the happiest moment. The music is coming along really well, and definitely some songs coming that I'm really excited about. So that's great. Definitely want to talk to you guys about some upcoming guests. I have 6 guests that are all kind of like scheduled right now in back-to-back-to-back weeks, and I'm trying to get that figured out. And so a lot of you guys that are watching right now are already patrons of the Nerd Network. A lot of you guys are certified gold, platinum, all the different levels. One of the perks at the certified platinum level is you actually get to submit questions for my guests, which is really fun. It's a cool way for you guys to kind of get involved, and I can have your questions be asked directly to my guests. Just a couple quick shout outs to people here in the chat because I see a lot of friendly faces. Let's see, I see Chris Woodburn in here. What's up, Chris? How you doing? I see Charlotte Gherkin. What's going on, Charlotte? Big time salute to you guys in Action Army. And, of course, Charlotte, who is an Infinity member of the Nerd Network. All the love in the world to you, Charlotte. So exciting to see you in here. You sent me a really touching message on Patreon, and I just responded to it the other day. Like I said, I've been a little out of sorts. It's been a little hard to keep things together for me, but I'm kind of getting back to it, and my head's starting to clear. So love seeing that, Charlotte. I hope the response there was good. I want to give shout outs to everybody. There's so many people in here that I appreciate, that I love seeing in here. So I will do some more shout outs in a minute. But upcoming guests, that's the thing. If you're a platinum member of the Nerd Network, you get to submit one question per guest. And so I have a whole list of guests I'm going to be kind of talking to you guys about throughout the show today. Today specifically, I'm going to be interviewing none other than Mike K.O. Killer Kalinowski. That was a triple alliterative. and that is going to be the guest next week on the show. So that will be next week's episode of A Great Conversation will be Mike Kalinowski. So if you guys have any questions for him, and also you are Platinum members or above in the Nerd Network, just go ahead and comment on the post on the Patreon. It's in a few hours, so if you're watching and you're curious of, I want to ask Mike about all the stuff, FSU, Christian, the boxing story Christian told me about. I want to know about, Schmodown, all that stuff. So, yeah. So let's do that. But you know what? The one other thing I want to remind to do, because I didn't post it. And now, if you're at the diamond level or above in the Nerd Network, I created a Facebook chat, just like we have for the generals in the Action Army. It says NIS Certified Diamond. So I should probably say live now. The funny part is a lot of you guys are in both. So, that's actually not probably as necessary, but I still should get used to doing that stuff. So, so Kalinowski is going to be the guest coming up today. So I'll announce him a couple times throughout the day, just in case you guys who are watching want updates. Be sure to hit that subscribe button if you guys haven't already hit subscribe to Nerds and Suits. And, of course, hit the thumbs up button if you haven't already done that. A quick like. So, things I mentioned. On the agenda for today, I want to talk to you guys about the album. I want to talk to you guys a little bit about some of the sort of self-betterment this year of my life ideas that I've got, because I definitely have been thinking about some stuff. Look at that cute Diet Pepsi. So little. And then, and I want to promo some things coming up, and then I definitely want to talk to you guys about this group of guests, because there's a whole bunch of them, and they're actually in all different fields. So, I had already mentioned to you guys Jordan Calloway, who plays Painkiller on Black Lightning, and he was Chuck Clayton on Riverdale. He's a friend of mine. He's going to be coming on the show. We should be doing that interview, I think, either this weekend or next week. So that's another fun one I had already announced, and I'll be posting about that, so you guys can make sure you get your questions in for him as well. Let's start from the front, though. Let's talk about the album. So I announced to you guys relatively recently on my birthday on June 6th, I announced that I have an album coming out. It's going to be in December. It's going to be my first original piece of music I have ever done that is mine. So I was in a band called Fight the Moon. I've talked to you guys about. My old bandmate, David Michael Frank, is a producer and a musician living in Los Angeles, and he is the person I'm hiring to produce the record. So he does this professionally. It's definitely going to be expensive, hence the reason I launched a Patreon, hence the reason that, this channel is now monetized, so the videos will be getting ad rev. And if you guys, ever when you're watching a stream or a show, want to be a part of Streamlabs or Super Chats, if you want to donate anything, it is welcome. It is encouraged. It is appreciated, obviously, because I'm going to end up spending, unfortunately, thousands of dollars on this album. That is just kind of the way it works. But, that's what I want to do, and that's definitely a dream of mine, so I'm planning on doing it. And every one of you who's a patron, every one of you who's donated even $1 to me at any point in time during this process on Nerds and Suits, you don't know how much it means to me. I am finding a level of inspiration right now with this album that I haven't found artistically in a long, long time. And that is really special. That's really, really cool, and has me definitely getting excited. So, tonight is going to be my very first session working on the album. That's gonna be the one. Tonight I go over to meet with David Michael Frank. We're gonna go over and sit down, and the first thing we're gonna do is we are gonna pull up a Dropbox file that I put together. I started doing this the other night, 3 nights ago now. And what I did is I went and took every song I'd ever written. This goes back to, well, actually, that's not true. There was some bands I was in middle school and in like 9th grade called like Last Action Hero, the Decepticons, Gunner. There's one other one in there probably I'm forgetting. They were like rock bands when I wanted to be, I literally, like that was like when I wanted to be like a hair metal singer. Like my plan at that time was to be like a butt rock singer. And so those songs are bad. Those songs are very bad. They're also like childish, because I got really into hair metal, and so like I wanted to be like Vince Neil and Axl Rose and stuff. And so all the lyrics in those songs are about like drugs and women and all this stuff. Cello Bonino asks, "Where is the suit?" I know. It's the first time I've ever done a stream on Nerds and Suits not in a suit, but it's been a tough week. I gotta tell you guys. So putting on the fancy stuff. I do have to tell you guys this hat. I got this hat. I'll shout out in the chat for anybody who can tell me what this hat actually is. I'll kind of lean down here so you guys can all see what it is here. So you can get a little closer in here. Maybe I'll even put it a little closer to the camera so you guys can. Does any? Oh no, that's on the other side. Who can tell me what this is? Who can tell me what this is? Because yeah, pretty bad. That's the wrong side of the hat. Now I'm watching myself do it. So I got this hat, but the problem is it's a size too small. So I had to, I cut the back of it. Like I cut the elastic band on the back, hoping that it would make it. And no, it did not. It's still too tight. It's a size too small for me, and it hurts. It is literally, it's digging into my forehead. You guys can probably already see it's digging into my forehead. So I think I got to order another one, which is a bummer. But yeah, I see it looks, Ryan Kramer says it's looking like an orchid or a crocus. Mike says agave. No, not quite. If you guys really dig deep, this is like a thought puzzle. If you dig deep, DT Durr, who's that's a diamond member of the Nerd Network, DT Durr, a big time salute and a tie straighten to you, because you're both an Action patron and also a Nerd Network patron. DT Durr is the closest one so far. If you guys really know me and the level of nerdery that I exist in, then that last one in the chat there should give a clue as to what it is. And it's technically correct. What DT Durr, who I don't actually know your name. I was trying to figure out, there was two people, Charlotte and DT Durr, who I was not able to add to the Facebook chat. And that could just be because you guys aren't on Facebook. I'm not sure, but message me, let me know what you guys, if you want to be a part of that, because it's for Diamond members and above, because that's the people who get to be a part of the studio session that I'm doing, and the second one of those actually is happening tomorrow afternoon. I'll talk about that a little bit more in a bit here, but just let me know. Looks like hashtag. I got see, this is where I got to know all the levels of Patreon like right offhand, because like I'm still not totally up to speed on every patron, their level in both places, because the truth of the matter is, guys, I need to be able to give, like DT Durr, for instance, is a diamond sergeant. He's a certified diamond action sergeant, right? So big time salute and a tie straight in there. Charlotte, I'm pretty certain is a certified double diamond certified infinity action general. See, I sound like a moron trying to figure this out. This is something I need to figure out because I'm not good at it so far. But I see Ryan Kramer here calling out the new call sign for Nikki Therese here. Call sign the closer. Love it. Yeah, I'm so excited to see you guys all in here talking, hanging out, and talking music, and yeah, exactly. Jake Yakavetta, call sign Vartab, Infinity 5-star General, says Jake. Yeah, exactly. That's like so some of them, like Jake, that's an easy one to remember. But Charlotte Gherkin, I'm an Infinity Sergeant. Yeah, these are titles that are really essential. I promise you guys very soon I'm gonna have this all figured out. Okay, so all that being said, what we were talking about was the hat, and then we were talking about the music and the thing that's happened. Yeah, PLD says, call sign PLD, I'm just a golden god. I mean, it's true. PLD's a legend. He's a legend. So what's going on as far as the meeting tonight goes is I'm going to go and I'm going to meet up with David. I'm not going to include the songs from those bands I mentioned, because all of those things are like all the songs are about like drugs and women and drinking and shit that's like really like awesome to you as a 14-year-old boy who like is like, man, these guys are so cool, they live fast and recklessly, like like the lyrics to Night Train by Guns N' Roses, even if it was the life they were living, was like I'm trying to remember the lyrics, Wake up late, honey, put on your clothes and take your credit card to the liquor store. Like, those are like the opening lyrics of those songs. So I was writing all that stuff. In high school, and I don't think any of those songs are going to make it. There was a song called No Price on Rock and Roll that I wrote, and I wrote it in this band Gunner, and I wrote all the lyrics on a bus ride home once. And it's a sweet title, No Price on Rock and Roll. And I might learn how to play that just so I can just have it as a funny thing. But the lyrics were like just so sweet. 14-year-old me thought they were the coolest thing. It was like, it was like skull and crossbones, rock and roll. It was like skull and crossbones, rock and roll. Fiending for a ticket, but they already sold. She said, we got the money and you got the show, but there ain't no price on rock and roll. Yeah, it was pretty funny. So anyway, that won't make it. but every song starting when I was 15, when I started writing songs on a guitar, every one of those songs is in consideration. So there's some pretty funny stuff. Laren McMullen here in the chat says, love it. Thanks, Laren. Guys, it's cool to see the numbers in here, building up. I love seeing you guys watch the show here today. This is a special one to me. There's a lot of stuff I'm excited about. Looks like I misspelled the, it says upcoming guests. So I'm really on top of my shit today. Let's update that, see if it helps, because I feel like a fool. So we're going to start with the first songs I ever wrote. Now, one of the things that's really cool is that tomorrow at 3 p.m., I'm going to be sitting down and I'm going to be doing the next one of these studio sessions. A lot of you guys know that that's now a thing that we do. And they're studio diaries. So after tonight, after I go over all of the stuff, let me just make sure that I've got this pulled up so I can see that the stream is working. After tonight, after I've gone over all the stuff with David Frank and we have all the different options figured out, I'm then going to be able to sit down in the studio diary session tomorrow with you guys and talk through some of those options. I'll be able to show you some of the ideas that I've got, some of the things that I think are really cool. There's a lot of really fun stuff that I'm going to get to do in that session. Also, for every single certified double diamond patron and above, you guys get to request one song per month for me to cover. That's a thing you guys have done. So 5 of you sent in those submissions, and I have learned portions of or all of those songs, and we'll be performing some of those tomorrow in the stream. So every single month, if you're at that double diamond level, you get to submit one song. There's a few that were submitted. How Deep Is Your Love by the Bee Gees was submitted. It's Still Rock and Roll to Me, I think, is the name of one by Billy Joel that was submitted. There's a Goo Goo Dolls song or a John Resnick song from the movie Treasure Planet that was submitted. So I'm working on learning all those songs. But as far as tomorrow goes, the studio session, this is going to be a good one. One thing that I think is kind of funny and kind of cool, I started pulling all these songs together. So I have a lot of these songs now sitting in this Dropbox file. There's like 60 or 70 tracks. And I will tell you guys that one of the songs I found in there was the first song I ever wrote. The first song I ever wrote and recorded, it's this song called Alana Song. And I think I might have like hummed it for you guys, but I didn't know that I had the recording of it. So I have it in the file. And in fact, I might even, I know last time when we did the studio session, because it's available to certified Diamond members and above, I had extended the invite to every single patron, certified gold all the way through infinity, as the first one. And I might do it again tomorrow, only because this week was so depressing and fucked up. I didn't put out an episode of Song from the Scene, and I didn't put out an episode of A Great Conversation. The channel was empty. This is the only piece of content that this channel has had this week. And I might extend that invite to everyone. I had a patron reach out this morning and ask about it, and I feel like I kind of owe that perk to every patron just because this week was so bad. And I'm going to be okay. It's going to be fine. It's just, sometimes you have down moments, and sometimes changes happen in your life. Sometimes things happen in your life, and that's just life. So it's been a hard week, but I would love to see more of you guys in there. And what I was going to say is, if you guys, I know last time, I don't think on any of the public streams I've played any music yet, but on the first studio session, I played you guys like a couple songs that I was working on. So if everybody here watching is interested, if we can get this video, we're at 33 likes. If we can get this video up to 40 likes, I appreciate it, Mike. Yeah, I'll talk about it at some other point. I mean, it's not even, it's just been a hard week. That's all I got to say. If we can get this video up to 40 likes, I will play on stream right now the recorded version of the first song I ever wrote. I'll actually play it for you guys. I should be able to do that. The software I'm using is cool. It's really easy for me to pull stuff and just add it to the stream. So 37, looks like 3 more likes, and you guys are going to hear Alana Song. I wrote it at Jewish summer camp, a camp called Solomon Schechter when I was 15 or 16. I think I must have been 15 probably. David Frank and we used to go and we would like put all the girls' cabins to bed. We'd like sing them to sleep, playing like Dave Matthews songs and stuff. So this was like kind of in that world. So I'll play you guys Alana Song if we can get up to 40 likes here. So tomorrow night, tonight, I'm going to be going and sitting down and working through all this stuff with David, which is really cool. I'm actually unbelievably excited to do that, because that's like my favorite stuff to do. That's totally my favorite stuff to do is songwriting and working through stuff like that. And so we should be kind of chronologically going through, and then over the course of the last 2, 3, 4 weeks now, I've written probably 2 or 3 like fully functioning, fully realized songs, plus another like 5 to 6 kind of like bits and pieces that are maybe like a verse and a chorus. And then just like, 12 or 20 like little like voice memo ideas where it's like a guitar part or it's like a melody. It's something that comes to mind. And there's some really interesting stuff in there. And I'll be showing you guys a lot of that stuff tomorrow in the studio session. I keep mentioning it. If you guys are interested and you want to become a patron, go to patreon.com/nerdsandsuits. And at that level, at that double diamond level, at the diamond level, $25 a month, you guys get to be a part of those sessions. The one tomorrow will probably be a little long. It'll probably be like an hour and a half, and it'll be just going through a lot of material, and I have some covers to play. Oh, look at that, 42 likes. 42 likes. All right, I gotta find the song now. I gotta see if I can find a Lana song. It must be in here. I put it in the file, in the folder, but that must mean that I downloaded it to my computer. All right, let's see if I can find it here, guys. Give me a second. Dropbox. Okay. Every single times product. Yeah, product. That's one. Emo. There's so many songs in here. I can't wait to show some of the stuff to you guys. There's also some bad songs in here. I got to tell you guys. There's some pretty bad ones in here. Let's see. No, that's not it. Every single times product 1.9 demo. I need to name them all. That's the problem here, guys. Hang on, give me a second. I know it's in here. Blue Skies. There it is. All right. Let's see if I can figure this out. It is my own song, so I should be able to download it. Hang on. We're getting there, guys. First song I ever wrote. Gotta be able to play this for you. I'm just so good at using things like Dropbox that it's my own Dropbox. It's not that hard to figure out. All right, guys. So let's see here. This is Alana's song. This is, by the way, so frame of reference. I think I wrote this 17 years ago. I probably recorded this 16 years ago. My voice is definitely higher. It's not a very good song, but 15-year-old me thought it was pretty good, and and I think, there's some interesting stuff to it. Remind me in a second, guys, when I'm done with this. I want to talk to you guys about Twitch music. It's an idea that I have that I was listening to a podcast about yesterday, and I'd love to know what you guys have to say about it. So don't let me forget to talk about that. So, all right, I think I can, right in here in Ecamm, I think I can just go ahead and pull a sound effect. I think I did this last time. Yeah, yep, I absolutely can. All right, ready? So let's make sure the levels are good. I think it was a little too loud last time. Can you guys hear it? Maybe not. Oh, it does not sound like stereo at all. Oh, that's because I have one headphone in. That would be the reason. All right, let's start this over. I want to make sure it's not too loud. All right, ready? Yeah, there we go. There it is. I should be able to make sure the volume is good, though. Yeah. Let's get a little quieter. Yeah, here we go. Alana song, guys. This is it. Wow. That high voice.
I'm wishing it gave me solid in a time that I felt so dead. Then I see you and you make it easy for me to lay
this
down
so long.
into your arms.
backup singer, a drummer, bass player. Played it on that guitar right there behind me on the couch.
So this is it for a song.
This is good right here. You go.
And you're beautiful. And you're beautiful. All this needs to be is one more moment we will.
My voice was very high.
Cherish in our real lives.
That's David playing guitar on that.
You are the one who makes it so hard for me to
What's up, Jack? Happy Friday.
You are the one who makes it
It's nice that I won't get copyright strikes on this video.
to leave.
It's my own song.
Makes it. I wanna stay here
Oh, yeah. Oh, I forgot. This is where you hear me go high, because I'm like, I couldn't just do a quiet song. Oh, this is good.
You are the one
I forgot about this.
makes it so hard for me to leave. You are the one who makes it so hard for me to leave. You are the one
It's so unnecessary.
makes it. I wanna stay forever with you.
Oh, that was too much, guys. That was really good. I'm so glad I forgot about the ending. I can't fucking wait to go and sit down with David and get to that part of the song, because I guarantee he hasn't listened to that at least 10 years, at least. Oh man, that was wonderful. Okay, so that was the first song I ever wrote. That was called Alana's song. Alana Rower was her name. I don't even know if she knows that it exists. I can't remember if I ever got to play it for her or not. I probably did. I must have played it for her at camp or something when I wrote it. I don't know, but anyway, so so tonight we're going to go and sit down and start to go through all the songs. There's like a whole file of those, guys. Like a whole fucking file. I mean, and there's ones I'm missing too. So I want to make sure that I don't want to just sit here listening to songs on the stream. But tomorrow in the studio session, we're definitely going to do that in the studio diary. So again, for anybody who is a patron at that level, for anybody who is a diamond patron, get excited, because we're going to do more of that tomorrow. And I'm going to play you guys some of the new stuff, and I'm going to play you some of the stuff I've been working on. And, I'm definitely excited about that. So, as far as other sort of album news, so what's going to happen is I'm going to go over there tonight. We're going to go through all the files. We're going to sort through stuff and make sure that we have, I haven't written everything I'm going to put on there yet, but we're going to kind of start organizing stuff, right? And I think what's cool about it is, like with Alana's song, the one you guys just heard, we'll listen to it and we'll be like, okay, is there a progression or is there a phrasing in there that's good that we can use for something else? Because the reality is that when you write like a bunch of songs and you're a nobody like me with music, no one ever hears them. So you can borrow from yourself, you can steal old songs. I mean, it's easy to do. And so we'll start to kind of organize and prioritize songs to figure out, what seems good and what's not good, and where there's inspiration to be drawn, and all that kind of stuff. So then after that, probably next week we'll do 2 more sessions. I'm going to start probably doing 2 sessions a week. When we get into the portion of this that I start to track the record, once we're ready to start tracking, it'll probably get a little bit more than that. But in the meantime, at least in the immediate future, the way that we're going to do this is we'll probably work on a song at a time, and I'll structure this probably as I'll be releasing singles. And I'll keep you guys all totally updated on how that's going to work, and what I'm going to be releasing and where and how and all that. It'll all be on Spotify and iTunes, Apple Music and all that. And then eventually, as everybody who's an Infinity patron now knows, because it's the first month, everybody who has ever been an Infinity patron even one time, which is the highest level that I offer, when I do press the album on vinyl, which I will do, I'm going to sign it, and I will send you a vinyl copy signed. And that's just you are basically pre-ordering the album at that $100 level. Plus, just you get all the other perks. You get the studio diaries and all that other stuff too. So, let's see. I just got a text from. Yeah. Okay. So that's kind of what the plan is there. And Jack Shipley says your Free Fallen cover is absolutely epic, dude. I really appreciate that. We haven't talked a lot on today's episode about Song from the Scene. And I'm gonna divert for a second from the album stuff because I'll keep you guys all updated kind of as updates are happening and album updates and things like that. But yeah, tonight we start work on the album, which I'm very excited about. So, Song from the Scene, a show that I'm very proud of, a show I was really excited to launch, and a show that the response has been warm. I got a Patreon message from someone yesterday who was specifically saying how cool, how much they enjoy Song from the Scene, and that the last one that I did, the Elton John one, Tiny Dancer, was a favorite, and that really warms my heart. I have to tell you guys, when I get that kind of information back from people about, hang on one second, guys, I think I need to mute something here because I'm getting notifications. When I get that kind of information back from people, guys, like on a specific thing that they like, it's really, really heartwarming, and it's very inspiring for me to keep going, because the weird thing about doing content, the thing that's so difficult about doing content, is that you kind of make it and you put it out there and you're hopeful that people are going to like it. But if you don't get comments, if people don't send you messages, if you're not performing it live, your whole thing is just dependent on views. And I don't get a ton of views on those videos. I'm excited about them, but I don't get like a crazy number of views or anything like that. The comments are wonderful. I mean, the people that leave comments, I ask you guys specifically to leave comments. But the show Song from the Scene and the cover Free Fallen that I did on that show was definitely one that I was really happy with. I personally like that one the most. I think I've had the strongest response so far to the Tiny Dancer video, to the one from Almost Famous. That feels like the one that the most of you guys gave the strongest response to. I'm just going to respond to something really quickly here. But yeah, thanks, Jack. I really appreciate that. And I'll keep doing those. I think right now what it looks like is that next week is going to be Aerosmith. Don't Want to Miss a Thing from Armageddon. I'm thinking that's probably what I'm going to do. I have a couple other options that I'm considering. John Lastrina here, call sign #Ladies Night. Free Fallen is my favorite so far. Yeah, thanks, man. That's been my favorite too. I think it was the ease at which it kind of came out, and I also found that the vocal tone that I hit in that one felt really like natural. Like I didn't feel like I was stressing or straining. And some of the other ones, were a little harder. And then also obviously the whole story and everything behind it was its own thing. But so yeah, Song from the Scene, that's probably the next one. I have a few others on the docket that I'm thinking about doing. So let's talk a little bit about a great conversation and some of the upcoming guests, because that's a show that I'm really enjoying doing. As I mentioned to some of you guys earlier, today I'm going to be interviewing Mike Kalinowski at 3 p.m. 3 p.m. we're going to be going over a bunch of Mike's stories, his history, some of the stuff that he does, and I'll be interviewing him. So if you are already a patron, I've already gotten a couple submissions on questions there since I posted it. But anybody who is a platinum patron or above in the Nerd Network, I straighten my tie to you and go and post a question for Mike if you have one. It's one per guest, but if you want to ask one, I will absolutely ask him that question. Coming up also, we've got Chuck Clayton from Riverdale, Painkiller from Black Lightning, Jordan Calloway himself. My friend Jordan is going to be coming on. I think he'll be my guest the following week. I have to structure the interviews to make sure that I can get everything taken care of. But Jordan has agreed to come on, and he's excited to do it. Another one that I actually just confirmed, and you guys haven't heard this one yet, or if I might have mentioned it on one stream, but he's an old friend of mine. Is a guy named Johnny Cruz. So Johnny is somebody that Andrew Guy and I both have known for a long time from. What's up, Dean Morgan? How you doing? We've both known him for a long time from the improv scene. Johnny was my first professional friend in LA that I met, I think. He's probably my oldest friend in LA at this point that I met in LA. I met him a few months after I moved here back in 2009. We had the same manager, and so we kind of were doing the same classes, and he and I have been friends ever since, and I got to have a big catch-up with him the other night. So you guys might know Johnny because he's the voice of Lucio in Overwatch. That's probably the thing that he does right now that he's the most well known for. He's been doing that for a few years now, so he goes around, he does conventions and meets people and that whole thing. So I know Overwatch is very popular. But yeah, Lucio, I know he's the voice of Lucio, and I think Johnny's been in a bunch of other stuff. He was in a show on El Rey Network called Matador for a while. He did a season of that. He was one of the leads on that show. It was a couple years ago. He's been in a bunch of other stuff. Like, you guys probably would recognize Johnny. He's been in a ton of stuff. He's also a voice in this Danny Trejo Netflix cartoon right now that I can tell you guys the name of it. It's called Seis Manos. He's one of the main characters in that with Danny Trejo. And then he's done a bunch of other stuff. It looks like he's done a bunch of other like video game work, and looks like a lot more. He's the voice of Jordan Cross in the Hitman video game. Huh, I didn't know that. That's wild. That's pretty cool. I think he's also like a voice in like. Well, I'd have to go find it, but yeah, Johnny's done a ton of stuff. Wow, yeah, looking at this. Whole bunch of stuff. I remember when he booked some of this stuff. But anyway, he's one of my oldest friends, somebody I'm a big fan of, and somebody that I'm excited for you guys to get to know, because Johnny's a treat. He's great. He's funny and he's cool, and that should be a lot of fun. So Johnny will be coming up on the show. Clark Wolf confirmed she'll be coming on the show. Mark Ellis. I'll be doing interviews with both of them coming up pretty soon here. And yeah, there's a bunch of others. So those are all guests that I'm excited to have you guys submit questions for all the patrons. I'll continue to announce those and post them in the group, obviously, if you guys are interested in kind of hearing more about that. But yeah, what else? So all right, I talked about the album a little bit. I talked about the studio diary. We talked about some of the upcoming guests. Submit your questions from Mike. I'm right now kind of considering maybe moving Song from the Scene to a bi-weekly schedule. Just purely based on the amount of time and effort that it takes to make an episode. Learning the song and performing the song well, and then watching the movie, and that whole thing is definitely something that I want to do a good job with. I never want to feel like I'm slacking or lagging with that. And so I'm going to keep trying right now on the monthly, or on the weekly, but it may have to move to a little less frequently. It's a very hard show for me to produce consistently with everything else I'm doing at the same time. I did find out from Christian Harloff, and I think he announced this on SEN Live, that I would be playing my next Schmoedown match, and it would be filming a little bit later this summer, and it would be, I think it would be the winner of the Andrew Guy, Mike Kalinowski match, which I think has been announced, or at least, that's the one that was announced before we went into quarantine. That was kind of what looked like was maybe going to happen. So that's another thing that I'm thinking about doing is kind of putting a schedule together and starting to get my whole shit together for Schmoedown, because it's been a minute. I haven't played a match, guys, since the end of February, and I don't spend a lot of time talking about Schmoedown on Nerds and Suits, because I have plenty of other places that I do get to talk about it. But I know some of you guys are from the Schmoedown world and have watched me do that, and yeah, I think, I feel like it's probably time for me to start to sink my teeth kind of into that, and to start to think about the next piece of my Schmoedown career. I want to win the belt back. I really want to win. I really, really, really want to win the team's belt. I've never done that. I've won the singles belt. I'm supposed to have a number one contender match in teams with Mark Riley. We were supposed to have that coming up. I don't know when we're going to get to play that, because I know it's difficult to do teams over StreamYard. So I don't know if that's even been announced, or it hasn't been told me when I was going to play it. So, but I still am hoping that I get to play both. But either way, Jeremiah Fuentes, Schmoedown Talk never gets old to me. I know, I do love it. I believe I can win. I believe I can win the belt back from whoever has it by the time I play. Because obviously Roca has to play Irwin, which that's I think the next number one contender match, and then Dan would defend, and so it could be Irwin, it could be Roca, it could be Merle. But whoever it is, if I do get a chance, if I am able to beat Mike or Andrew, that's kind of what'll happen there as I get closer to it. So that's on my plate. But yeah, Schmoedown studying, I love watching movies, and I have been a little more lax these last couple months on what I've been watching. I've watched a few funny things. I watched 8mm the other night, and I watched Virtuosity last night with Denzel and Russell Crowe. Pretty bad movies, both of those. But I want to watch silly thrillers. I like to do that. So yeah, I think probably I'll put a list together and make myself a chart and a schedule, and hopefully I can do it with a level of, not going crazy, because I don't want to go crazy with Schmoedown studying immediately. I don't have to play a match for a little while still, but watching and making sure that I'm spending at least a little bit of time every day putting stuff together so I'm prepared, because I would like to win again. I mean, being a 2-time champ would be huge. It doesn't matter if you defend. If you defend one time and lose, you're still a one-time champ. And Paul Oyama, for instance, defended one time, but he's still only a one-time champ. He has the distinction to being someone who did defend, which is very hard to do. But when you get to call it, you're a 2-time champion, it means something else. So that's probably something I'll be working on. And then, I think, I mentioned it a little bit. This has been a depressing week, but the reality is, all you can do is look forward. All you can do is look forward in your life. And when things are bad or things are down or things are difficult, you have to know that it is up to you to control it and make the next thing great and take responsibility for what you can. And so for me, what I really, really want to do is I want to make this the healthiest, most exciting year of my life. I really think I turned 32 a few weeks ago, and I announced a big new project, and I've got all these moving pieces and things, and all these things that I'm doing. And I really want to make sure that I'm focused, and I'm looking at the next piece of my life and thinking about how to put myself in the best possible position to succeed doing that. And so, one thing I had talked about doing, and you guys can let me know if you think this is cool or would be interested in this. A lot of us are stuck at home. And we're doing all of our work from home. I'm looking into a camera. You guys are watching a lot of streams. Some of you guys are streaming yourselves, obviously. A lot of you guys stream yourselves. And I was thinking on Mondays, maybe Monday nights, I would start doing a weekly stream on this channel, and really make it focused about like positive stuff. So, obviously music is really inspiring me right now. So I would be able to talk to you guys about sort of weekly updates on music stuff. I could just sort of talk to you guys about what I'm enjoying, what's inspiring me. And also, I think on a personal level, we could do this on Action as well. I don't think it really makes a difference which channel this happens on, because I know Andrew is interested in the same thing. But really kind of talking about that life progress stuff, the stuff where you're setting goals for yourself, when you're executing those goals and you're coming up with ideas and systems to challenge yourself to be better. I think something I always hear people say is that your 20s is about having fun, your 30s is about finding your career, and your 40s is where you make your money. And I think that's in reference to work, not in reference to just like life. But I really think that, for my 30s, the thing I want to do, I want to continue building on my career because I'm proud of what I've built so far. And I think it's been a really good last few years, especially. And then on top of that, I want to add to that by finishing my 30s in 8 years, feeling like I have become the healthiest, happiest, most in control of where I'm going to be person that I can be. Because the other thing too, Jeremiah Fuentes, Life Coach Bateman. Well, here's the thing, Jeremiah. I think you're kind of teasing me here, but I don't think I can coach any of you on your lives because I feel like I have so much work I have to do on myself. But I think taking that inventory, taking that mental inventory, that moral inventory, and really making sure that every day when you wake up, you're not just sitting in the same place, you're moving forward. I think it's something that all of us could use. No, I didn't. I see, Jeremiah. I didn't think you were making fun of me, really. I just mean, I would, because the thing is, I'm not great at everything. Okay, there's a lot of things in my life I'm not very good at. I've worked really hard at some things, and I've found success in some things. And I would love to share with you guys how I found any success and any of the things I'm even better than average at. And also bouncing some of my struggles off of you guys might help me become better too. And I hope it does. I hope it does help me become better. And I think it will make my conversations and a great conversation better. I think it'll make my songwriting better. And so I'm thinking I kind of want to do that as part of my weekly slate here on Nerds and Suits. I kind of want to add that as a Monday show. Maybe I pick a nighttime slot. Maybe I pick like 7 p.m. Monday night or something like that. I'll have to figure out how it works. But yeah, kind of do that and encourage you guys to come here and bring your struggles, to bring your optimism, to bring the things to the table that we can maybe help each other. Because I think it would be healthy and helpful for me in this moment to figure out kind of how to be that person, how to be that better person. Because that feels exciting to me. So that's definitely something I'm thinking about, and I will kind of continue to update you guys on that. For right now, the plan is, probably Monday nights if I do that. There's also the comic book show I mentioned with Coy that I want to start working on. And then Twitch music. I mentioned this just a minute ago, and this is interesting. I listened to a podcast yesterday of this woman talking about, I think her name is Karen Allen, which I know is the same name as the actress, but she talks about the Twitch music scene and that there's a lot of live music and entertainment on Twitch. There's a lot of musicians who are building followings there on Twitch, and it's kind of a hidden function in Twitch, but you'll find people performing live for a couple hours at a time to anywhere between like 100 and 800 people. Or less, as they're just getting started. And I was kind of thinking, YouTube, I'm a pretty like known quantity as far as like, this audience and Schmodown. And so if I put something on YouTube, it feels very public to me. It feels very like the people that I don't, it's like I want to make sure that I'm kind of keeping some of that to myself a little bit in the music world, because I don't want to put everything out there so fast, But Twitch, I feel like I don't even use Twitch, and no one really knows that music's even on Twitch hardly. And so I was kind of thinking about maybe starting a couple hours a week, maybe a couple hours one day, and kind of working out material on Twitch, doing a live stream just like this, picking up the guitar, kind of just maybe taking requests, maybe, but not a concert as much as just kind of a free-form music session, where I'm not necessarily forced to, work on my new stuff, and I'm not. It's not that private thing, because again, the thing for the Studio Diary series is very specifically for patrons. That's something I don't want to put out there. I don't want to show myself writing songs to the general world. But if you guys are interested and you're supporting like that, then I think that's something I can share with a small group of people. Like some of the new stuff I wrote this week, like I don't want to put that out there yet. It's not fully formed yet, but I can share it with you guys tomorrow. But on Twitch, I was thinking about maybe starting that up. I have a Twitch account, and it feels, it seems very fun. I watched a couple people this morning doing it. It seems like a cool thing to be able to do. So I might try that. I might kind of set that up and maybe let you guys know, the Nerds in Suits crowd, that I'm doing that, and just maybe kind of give it a shot and see sort of what happens. I do want to tell you guys, because I think this is fun. So I've been listening to a lot of Coldplay. Coldplay, classically not a band that I was the biggest fan of, but I've always liked Coldplay. But there was this video I found that I watched of Chris Martin explaining the writing of Viva La Vida. He explains writing Viva La Vida, and he performs it on Howard Stern. If you guys have never seen it, I was talking to Guy about it the other day on stream. It's a really amazing video. It's really, really cool. It's like such an interesting, like sort of almost like lazy. It's not like lazy. It's right. It's like he just picks up the guitar and he's able to just rock through it. Like there's just no hesitation on Chris's part at all. Right. He's not even the best singer. He's not warmed up. He's clearly like, when I say he's not the best singer, he's a good singer. He's just not like an all-time level singer, but he just starts kind of rifling through the song. And I was so kind of taken by that and inspired by that. That kind of pushed me in a certain direction. And so I started listening to a bunch more Coldplay, the older stuff, especially, because I think he's a really good songwriter. I think more than anything, he's a phenomenal songwriter. Actually, I can kind of show you guys, got this here. Let's see if I can do this. I think I can turn this. No, I'd have to change the setting, but I probably can. Let's see how out of tune this is. Change the other ear. PC just showing up. What did I miss? We're actually just getting ready to kind of wrap here in probably 5 minutes, but I was just going to kind of show you guys. I was still kind of inspired by what I saw Chris do in this performance. I decided to kind of learn it myself. All right, let's see. So it's like... let's see here. Let's see if I can get this arm to be in the right position. Make sure you guys can hear it. All right, you tell me if you guys can hear this okay. I used to rule the world. Seas would rise when I gave the word. Now in the morning I sleep alone. Sweet streets I used to roam. I used to roll the dice, feel the fear in my enemy's eyes, and then the crowd would sing. Now the old king is dead, long live the king. 1 minute I have the key, next the wall closed on me, and I discovered that the castle stand pillars of salt, pillars of sand. You guys hear that okay? Hopefully the levels are all right. But I was watching him kind of do a version like that, with like sort of that rhythm, and I thought it was really cool. I just liked that, like, he was able to sort of mimic those. He was able to sort of mimic those big strings that they do on the studio recording, and he was just like, yeah, this is how I wrote it. And then that really kind of gave me some inspiration thinking about, okay, that's cool. Like the way that's structured, you know, it's the rhythm of that and the speed of that and the hits and the intonation pattern and all that. So yeah, I've been listening to a lot of Coldplay. I've been listening to like a bunch of their different albums. I listened to Ghost Stories, which was their album with Sky Full of Stars on it, a bunch the other day, because it's like much more like ambient, kind of quiet. But anyway, I'm trying to think if there was anything else that I wanted to talk to you guys about today. So I talked to you guys about all the guests that are coming up. Remember that if you are platinum members in the Patreon, you can submit your questions, and I can get those questions to their guests. Today, Mike Kalinowski is coming on the show. So anybody who is a platinum member above in the Nerd Network, straighten my tie to you. Get a question submitted there on the Patreon. I'll make sure I ask it to Mike. Jordan Calloway will be the next guest. So Painkiller on Black Lightning. Be getting him in. So again, I'll make a post about that. You guys can get in as well. And for anybody here that is interested, I think I will make it available to all patrons. So certified gold all the way up to infinity. I think tomorrow's studio diary I will make available to everyone once again. This will probably be the last one of these that I do for the full Patreon, because the diamond level it does have to have something exclusive, and I really want to make sure that I continue to provide that. But with obviously the missing pieces of content this week, I don't think it's very fair that one of the significant pieces I do is not going to be available to everyone, because I normally do 2 shows and I did 0 this week. So they'll both be back next week, but the studio diary is tomorrow. So if you are not a patron and you want to give it a shot and you want to try it out, sign up even at the certified gold level, patreon.com/nerdsandssuits. And you guys will get perks there, as well as the link tomorrow. I'll send that out in the afternoon before I do the show. So thanks to everybody here for watching and listening. If you haven't already hit subscribe here, please subscribe to Nerds and Suits. Please leave a comment below about your thoughts on today's stream. That's one thing that I really like to focus on. I really like to focus on this is to make sure that when the streams are over and we're done doing the show, the premiere is over, you guys leave your thoughts below in the comments. So as soon as this stream ends, if you guys can do me a favor, I'm going to hit end here in 2 minutes. Just every one of you that is watching and listening, do me a favor and leave a comment about something you heard. Maybe it's that you want those positive Monday night streams. Maybe it's that you're excited for the studio session. Maybe it's that you can't wait to see Jordan Calloway or Mike Kalinowski. Maybe it's about a Schmodown match. Whatever it is, it really does help these videos do well if you guys leave a comment when the video's over. Likes on the video matter a lot, and comments matter a lot. So I do ask you guys to help me out with that. As soon as I'm done, it would be awesome of you to do. And then Jack Shipley here says, looking forward to Sunday as well. I'm totally looking forward to it. Jack, I wasn't sure if that had been announced or if I could talk about that. So you tell me right now. I am going to be doing a piece of content on Dan's channel, Dan Murrell. The greatest of all time himself, the dangerous one. I'm going to be doing a show on his channel called Dan Decides. It's like an action movie bracket. It's going to be like a bracket thing where he and I are going to be ranking and fighting all these action heroes, these action movie actors against each other. And he's invited me in to do that with him. It's exclusive to patrons. So if you guys aren't a patron already of Dan's channel, go become a patron, so we can all be a part of that together. But I can't wait to do that. It should be really, really fun. I love working with Dan. That's going to be, I think, at 11 a.m. this upcoming Sunday. So that would be Sunday the 28th of June. And Jack Shipley is producing it. I've worked with Jack a bunch in the past, so I'm really hyped for it. Yeah, so that's kind of what I'm doing, guys. Remember to leave a comment here as soon as the video is over. And thanks so much for watching. Hit subscribe, and I will see every one of you tomorrow who is a patron in the Studio Diary tomorrow at 3 p.m. I'll see you guys tonight on Action Unfiltered at 5 p.m. It's going to be a full weekend of content. All right, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening, guys. Salute. Tie straighten. Love you guys all.